Hello everyone, welcome to Optimal Timelines. I am your guide, Sean Collins, and helping you to connect to your most optimal future timeline. So it's that time again. It's going to be your monthly tarot readings for the month of May 2021. And as always, it's going to be for your North Node by sign and house. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what your North Node is, in the description box below, there's going to be a couple of videos that explain it. But the reason, as my regular viewers know, the reason I use your North Node by sign and house as opposed to your sun, moon, or ascendant is because I find that the readings are much more accurate and much more relevant. So people that share the same North Nodes by sign and house have much more in common with each other than people that share the same sun sign, for example, or moon or ascendant. So as I said, you can check the description box below if you have any questions about your North Node. And let's get started. Okay, so this is going to be your monthly tarot reading for the month of May 2021 for everybody with their North Node in Sagittarius and or the 9th house. So I'm going to connect to the energies and then we can begin. I call upon my spirit guides and guardians and the wisdom of my ancestors to bring forth the information that's true and correct for all who see this reading, that it may bring them the most beautiful, happy life possible and set them on their most optimal future timeline. So may it be. Okay, so the spread for this side of the table, this is for the first half of the month from the 1st to the 15th, and this side over here represents from the 16th of the month to the end. Okay, so for the first half of the month here, what I'm getting for a lot of you is that there is this, there could be this emotional disappointment, or disappointments that you've been dealing with, kind of emotionally maybe being down. And part of that is going to be, for some of you, it's going to be your actual physical energy because of some, whatever it is, like health things, or dealing or trying to work on your health, or dealing with some sort of health issues. For others, the energy is going to be down and the emotions are going to be down, just based off of some kind of like a feeling of kind of discontentment. Okay. Now, what is happening right here, right now, is that you are being, the reason this is coming up is you're being balanced out right now. And it's almost like I see this kind of, if you know what alchemy is, they say, like, these alchemists would take different elements, combine them together to make another element. It's kind of a myth, but they say, like turning lead into gold. They actually didn't do that, but really alchemy is real. But what they're finding out in a lot of esoteric teachings, when they go back, and what they're finding out is there is something called inner alchemy, where when we go through life and we're refining our emotions, we're refining our mental capacity, we're trying to improve in our life on all levels. The improvement has to come from inside out. It doesn't come from the outside in. Okay. And so this inner alchemy is, as we refine ourselves as people, refine our mental capacities and our emotional capacities, excuse me, when we do that, this inner alchemy will come out into the physical world and manifest itself in our life, in our physical life. And I feel like a lot of this that has gone on is, for some of you, it is this ongoing thing of, now your North Node is in Sagittarius, or the 9th house. That means your South Node is in Gemini and or the 3rd house, okay? And ruled by Mercury, okay? Now, one of the things that happens with, I'll say, negative or dark, Mercury energies and Gemini energies is a misuse of the mind or mental faculties, okay? Misuse meaning that your mind's not your friend. It could go into negative places, and where the mind goes, the emotions follow, okay? And it also could be like something emotionally triggers you, and then your mind goes there, and then your mind will take that ball and, roll it down the hill, and your emotions will follow, okay? What you're learning is that if this is the case, okay, this is just an ongoing thing that, how do you keep your mind from getting out of control? Well, it's like everything in balancing. Your emotions can actually help you to cure that. So, for example, let's say that you experience someone says or does something that's close, they're close to you, and they say or do something that triggers you emotionally, and then your mind starts going, and you're like, well, any number of things. Why did they do this? How, blah, blah, blah. How could this happen? Okay. And the way you can calm that down, one of the things is this, that say, well, this is where the heart comes in, and where compassion and emotions can balance out the mind. You say, well, maybe, they had a really bad day or something, and they've give me so much love on a regular basis, and you start thinking about all the things that they do for you that are good, and the ways that they show they care. And like I said, this could be a personal relationship, even with people that are, maybe we're not super close to, but there's always a reason if you can have compassion. Think of it like this. This is a perfect example. Okay. If you are dealing with a rescue animal, let's say a dog, okay? I have so much admiration and respect for people that rehabilitate animals, like dogs that have been abused, because it takes so much compassion, patience, and love to rehabilitate those animals, because they can, they don't trust people. They bite, these people that do this. It's not, easy, and it takes time and patience. Well, a lot of people out there, like a lot of us, we've got triggers, and, a lot of us are can be kind of abused animals sometimes, you know what I mean? Like we've gone through things, and we have our own trigger points. And so if you treat, life, a lot of times where, this is where compassion can help the mind. So someone triggers you, and you're like, oh, you don't want to take abuse. Like I said, I never say you should take it and turn the other cheek and let people abuse you. Okay. I'm saying but within reason, there's times where you can maybe don't instantly go to the negative and say okay, have a little compassion. Maybe they've gone through a lot. That's how emotions can tame the mind. Or even if you start going down just a negative space in your mind, here's another example of how you can temper that mind. So you're just driving along and all of a sudden you think of something and you start going, we all do it, we're all guilty of it. And you start going down this like negative road, this mental negative road where you're thinking about things. You know, at some point you could stop yourself, you know, don't beat yourself up. Don't feel guilty about it. Just say, oh, wow, I'm really going down this. This really isn't helping me. And so you could think about something positive, like the positive things in your life, like, wow, okay, I've got this, you know, great job. I've got this great person in my life. I've got something I look forward to that I'm, you know, good at, like a talent, whatever it is, whatever good you have, you can start getting in a space of gratitude. Again, that's the heart. Gratitude comes from the heart. All of these things, compassion, gratitude, come from the heart. It helps calm down that active mind, okay? And so that's what I feel a lot of you are going to be doing. Now, for those of you, like I said in the beginning of the video, that were dealing with like health issues, that's something to be, you know, it's like these health issues could be kind of exacerbated because of these, you know, mental roads that you've gone down, and you know, it hasn't helped you, or you could, it could, these physical things. Just realize this energy thing. It's something that you're going through to learn about balancing something in your life. It's all about balance, and when you can find. Remember, for you, it's about seeking balance. You know, Gemini rule, you know, your South Node in Gemini in the third house, the twins, okay? It's about you're seeking balance, okay? And you're going to find balance, especially if you can balance the mind and emotions, okay? Now, going off into the second half of the month, I feel like there's going to be a little bit of a change to where what a lot of you are gonna confront is you're trying to put something out into the world, because a lot of you have a lot of you're multi-talented. So you see a lot of people that have a Gemini South Node. They could be talented in several different things, you know, but you definitely have some sort of talent that you are going to be trying to put out into the world, and you have been trying to put out. and it's going to pay off, okay? But there is going to be some things where you're going to be dealing with naysayers. So you're trying to put this energy into the world, these talents, these gifts that you're working with. It could be a creative project. It could be something you're trying to create. It could be at work, okay? And you could be having, the naysayers could actually be other physical people or situations around you. And it also can be internal, like the internal critic that you don't even recognize. Like if someone criticizes us as people, naturally, like we recognize that. We're like, whoa, like someone's being really critical of us and criticizing us. We recognize that. But a lot of times we don't even recognize that subtle inner critic that could be coming out. So for some of you, it could be actually, you know, the outside world. But I think for a lot of you, it's actually going to be this inner critic. And what ends up happening is that, you know, you have this great idea of something that you're trying to put forth in the world. And it could be anything. It could be moving forward in a relationship. It could be trying, you know, doing things at work. It could be trying to do something as a side gig, or you're trying to do something. And when the inner critic or outer critic comes in, then doubt starts to creep in. Okay. And then you kind of go down that road, and then you start to question, like, you know, is this right or is this wrong? Now, what you want to do is remember, in this lifetime, your intuition is key. So when your inner critic shows up or your outer critic shows up, what you want to do is you want to ask yourself this important question. And this is a question you want to ask throughout your whole life at different times. How I'm trying to process this situation that's happening. You ask yourself, how do I feel about this person? How do I feel about this situation? How do I feel about this idea? How do I feel about moving forward with this idea? Okay. And when you ask that question, your intuition is not going to come from your mind. So whatever answer your mind comes up with, I want you to disregard that, whether it's positive or negative. It doesn't matter. If your mind, whatever your mind comes up with, I want you to disregard. And the way you tap into your intuition is when you ask yourself how I feel about it. How does your body feel? How does your heart feel? Like sometimes you'll ask yourself a question where our bodies are literally connected. And like I learned this from Deepak Chopra. He talks about this for years and years and years. Our bodies are literally connected to the cosmos. Our bodies feel the moon shifts, the planetary changes. We can walk into a room where there's negativity, we can feel it. This is all not coming from the mind, okay? The mind is simply a processor, okay? But what's going to really help you in your life is this inner guidance, this inner intuition. So you ask yourself, how do I feel about it? Some people are going to feel, you might feel something in your gut. You're going to feel positive or negative. You're going to feel, people are going to feel it in different ways depending on you. And you have to discover how you feel it. So it's not the mind. It's like you take, for example, you meet a new person and you're kind of not sure, and your mind's all, oh, they kind of remind me of my ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend, and I don't know. All this is like mind chatter. But you simply ask yourself, okay, I was talking to this person. How do I feel about this person? And see what comes up. Is it uneasiness? Is it a calmness? Or notice the changes that are in your body. So it's really what your path really is in this life. One of them is to really refine your intuitive processes. And that way you get rid of the inner critic and you bring in your inner psychic, if you will, your inner intuitive. Okay. And then you can ask yourself, and remember that inner critic, you don't get rid of them. You give them a different job. You say, you're not here to criticize. You're not here to analyze. You are here to just simply process information that I give you. That my inner intuition gives you. Well, just simply, you're just a number cruncher. You're not here to figure out the world through your mind, okay? And so that's what's going on, is that, this idea that you have, whatever this creative impulse is that you have, okay, go with it. And, even if your inner intuitive says, no, it's not the right time, it could just be you need to revamp it. It's not that the idea is bad, or it could just be a timing thing, or it could be needing to be revamped. But this is all coming up because this is getting you to learn how to get this intuitive prowess up to par, okay? And it could be a huge, huge help in your life. So anyway, thank you for watching. I hope this resonated with you. Thank you for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing, helping me grow the channel. Much appreciation. If you'd like a personal reading, there's going to be a link in the description box below. Would love to help you. Any questions? I love to interact through the comments, so reach out to me in the comments if you'd like. And again, thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon. Many blessings.